first kind of compilation in that. These teachings are mind are difficult and daunting and very complex teachings. These are all. This also comes from the Maharanya teachings, which is the nature of mind, where the true nature of the mind is just the emptiness. We think that we have to pour in so many things in order to do it. The true nature of the mind is just the emptiness. When we realize it is an emptiness, we are free and conceptual clinging of all these things, obscure and the true nature, right? So we are actually clinging, or we are actually attaching ourselves into the so many things. So that is where we are not able to find out we are that the art, right? So we are that Paramatma, or we are that knower, or we are that supreme consciousness. We are not able to know because we are not thinking that emptiness is only the nature of our mind, but we are filling our mind with the so many things. That is where we are actually clinging towards the so many things. That is what he's explaining. This is the overall structure of the book. It has a 50 verses. The total book has a 50 verses, and the first 15 verses is talking about the store of consciousness. So how we are actually, what is that we are storing in our consciousness? And the second one is the 7 verses talks about our manas. And then 5 verses talks about the mind consciousness. And the 3 verses talks about sense consciousness. And then the nature of reality, the 10 verses. And the last 10 verses are path to practice, how we can practice these things. This is how the book is divided into the 6 different sections. So we will start today the first section, the store of consciousness, how the consciousness is stored. Mind is actually, if I further divide it, what is mind? If I say that it is somewhere in the brain, somewhere, so much which we talk about, right? But what exactly the mind means, if I take it, so mind is actually comprising of 8 aspects of consciousness. So what are those 8 aspects? 5, all of us know the 5 are the senses. Eyes to see, ears to hear the sounds, nose to smell the odor, tongue to taste something, and skin to touch the object. So see, hear, smell, taste, and touch. These are the 5 which all of us know, because through this we are perceiving the world. We are taking the world into our mind, right? So these are the 5. And 6th is the mind consciousness, or a mano-vijnana, arises from our mind contacts an object or the perception. When we see an object, suppose when you see an object, so you will not see that object as an object. You perceive so many things. You assume so many things. So that is how the 6th mind consciousness. So because you already stored something, you try to relate with those things. 7th is manas. Is the 7th again is the manas, the part of consciousness that gives rise to and is a support of consciousness. So that is the manas. 7th one is manas, and 8th is to store all these 7. To store whatever that you have perceived with all those first 7. 8th is the store of consciousness, is a alaya vijnana. So it's a ground or a base of all other 7 consciousness. So this is actually what is mind means, these are all the mind, these are all the things that we can say the mind. Okay, in order to understand this, you don't need any philosophy, or you don't need any psychology. You just need to sit here with the empty mind. Think that there's just whatever it comes, whatever that thick hat the monk is trying to teach us. If you're open to it, and we are able to go deep, and we are able to understand the things one by one. So if that, then what is this? If this, what is this? So these are the analytical mind that we are actually applying, right? So let us not apply all the analytical minds. He explained very simple, one by one, because Mahayana is a very complex subject. Okay, the Abhignana, the Abhidharma is a very complex. From that, he took it. They have some 80, 90 verses. He took 50 verses and tried to explain it very coolly, very step by step. He tried to understand it. Okay. So maybe you may feel that by hearting is an old-fashioned thing, but it is always good to, whenever the class is done, it is always good to by heart that particular verse and try to apply, because when you by heart it, you try to remember again and again in your mind, even though by hearting is the old kind of style, because we are just actually not by hearting or not remembering. So in the olden days, if I say, when the phone is not there, we used to remember so many phone numbers, but then we in our mind we used to dial when we have to dial like that, right? Yeah, our generation, we have seen, I know many people who are in my generation have seen the homes without phones, and now you have seen the people with how many number of people are there in the home, those many phones, right? So if you observe it, that memory was so much in those days, because we used to remember all the things, we used to memorize all the things. But now even on our own phone, family member phone numbers, if you have to remember, we have to put a lot of effort, because we are just dialing with the name and we are just storing it. So we are so much dependent on that, right? So here, but those things, maybe it's okay. But the thing is, here, if you want to practice any things in the spirituality, we need to remember it again and again. Am I going to teach anything new here from this book? May not be, because many of you know all these things in a different passion. That is the very much. Only thing is, why we have to read again and again, remember it again and again, because in that way we practice it in our life. That is the whole purpose of the thing. And so many people, so many people are working towards it. They are contacting people and they are trying to host the sessions and all, so that at least we will remember things again and again, and practice in our lives. Okay, this book is having, as I told you, that's putting the, suppose if you are just using this book, right? If you are just using this book, what he says is, if you are using this book, reading and understanding only with your intellect, it is putting a plastic on your on the earth. That is what he is saying. What will happen? Putting a plastic on there, it won't die. It will not do anything, right? It will take a lot of time to decompose. You are actually doing the harm. Similarly, if you are reading this book without practicing, it is only thing you are adding something to your mind. That's all. There's no use of it. So you need to this dharma, whatever that he is telling, it has to penetrate into your consciousness. When it penetrates into your consciousness, then only it will be helpful for your life. Then only your life will be lifelong. The teachings will go into your life, and you will have a happy life. Ultimately, we all want to have a happy life only. Whether whatever we do at the end, it is a happy life. What he is saying, make your mind empty. Happiness is already there within you. That's what we are trying to. He is trying to teach us. It brings your the mindfulness. It brings you the kindness, compassion. When you are reading your verses, and when those verses are penetrating within yourself, within your consciousness, all the things will be within the it will come into your mind. It will come to your consciousness. That is what he is trying to say. Okay, with this I'll start with the first verse. The first verse is this: mind is a field in which every kind of seed is sown. This mind field can be called as all the seeds. So mind is a field. Now it is mind is a field. That's what he's saying, right? Any kind of seeds can be sown here. All the seeds can be sown in this. So let us take. So in the spring, you are trying to put some of the seeds and trying to grow your garden, right? So whatever the seeds you are giving, suppose if you are giving the beans only, you will get a beans plants. Okay, if you are putting any other kinds of vegetable seeds, only you will get that. Do you agree that? So similarly, here is a mind is a field, he is saying. So when whatever the things that you are keeping in your mind, so you may say that today I put something and it is not growing it. Suppose if you put some seeds in the January, will it grow immediately? It will not grow, right? It will take its own time, and you have to water. You have to give the proper nutrition to that, whatever the water or sunlight and all those things. Then only you will be able to store. Then only you will be able to that will sprout and it will come as a plant. That's how it is. Here also, mind, whatever that you are keeping in your mind, everything will come. Everything will come where when the time comes, it will sprout. It will come according to that. So here, mind is the store of consciousness. The first first thing that we are talking, right? First 15 verses is talking about the store of consciousness in that mind, right? So as we see 8 aspects of the mind, right? 8 aspects of the consciousness also we see. So with that, whatever that we see, we are storing in our mind. Whatever we taste it with it. Suppose if I say gulab jam, everybody will get a one taste. You'll remember that taste, right? Because you already stored that taste within your mind. If I say Karela, then you'll say the bitter taste, something. So you are actually able to get it because you already stored in your mind what is that. So here, through seeing, through tasting, through touching, everything, you are actually storing all the seeds into your consciousness. All the 7 parts, you are storing that in the consciousness. With that, you are able to grow the seeds here. So when we are actually, whatever the seeds we are keeping, we are able to grow only those seeds, right? So we always, every day, we have to be very conscious what we are keeping in our mind, whether we are keeping hatred, whether we are keeping kindness, whether we are keeping love, or whether we are keeping angry, whether we are keeping jealous, or whether we are keeping compassion thoughts. So what thoughts that we are actually keeping in our mind is very, very, very important. That is the seeds, the bija. The bijas that you are storing in your store of consciousness is very much important, because those bijas only will come out. Those bijas only will sprout in your life. If you keep sorrow, fear, difficulties in that, then only those things will come out. If you keep love, compassion, all the things, those things will come out. So that is how it will be there. So you are both. You can not only we. Again, you may get a question. I didn't put, but something was sprouted in my life. You not only that is what 15 verses. What he is trying to say. There are so many seeds were sowed in our mind by so many people, by parents. By birth, we got some. By parents, something was sowed in our. When you go to school, by your classmates, by your teachers, something was given. By ancestors, something came. By our society, some seeds were given. So these many people are filling our consciousness. So when these many people are filling our consciousness, all the things will sprout if you are actually entertaining, right? So whatever the things you have grow, the seeds are there, those will. Suppose you kept some 10 seeds, but you water only 5 seeds. What will happen? Only those 5 seeds will grow. The remaining 5 seeds who didn't get a proper nutrition will not grow. Similarly, in our mind also, you may have so many seeds. You might have put so many seeds in your mind. But if you did not water to those thoughts, those will not sprout. Those will not go, because those are not a wholesome seeds, because you have not given a proper nutrition. They are craving for water. They are craving for something, because you are not nurturing them. When they are not nurturing them, those will not manifest in your life. So you need to, there will be so many things. The society may poke you, the parents may give you something, the classmates may give you something, or when you go to office, the office colleague may not be great, and he may be giving you some anger or some feelings. So everybody, because you are living in the society, everybody will try to fill something into your thing. But the thing is, whether to which thought or to which thing, which seed, which bija you are pouring the water, which means you are, which thought or which bija you are entertaining, right? Those will sprout in your life. Otherwise, those things will not be sowed. So we have to choose carefully what is the wholesome seed. What is that we can pour the water. The seeds of joy transform into the joy only. Otherwise, they will the seeds of anger may transform into the suffering. So the seeds of understanding, love, compassion will flower in your life as long as you pour the water to that. That is what that's the brief explanation of this first stanza, or the first thing. Mind is a field in which every kind of seed is sown. Every kind, all the things, anger, jealous, everything will come. The mind field can also be called as all the seeds. It is a store, right? So it has all the bijas are there in that soul. So, okay, let's go to the second. 2. In us, infinite varieties of seeds are there, not just one variety. Infinite varieties of seeds are there. Seeds of samsara, seeds of nirvana, delusion, enlightenment, seeds of suffering, happiness, seeds of perceptions, names, words. So these many things we are storing in our store of consciousness. It is every kind of seed is there. Some seeds are so big, some seeds are so strong, some seeds are small, some seeds are large, but all the seeds are there. So whichever the seed of delusion is watering in us, that is watering in us. When you are delusion, you are watering, then ignorance will grow. If you are if you are giving the water to the delusion, then the ignorance will grow. If you are water to the seed of enlightenment, then the wisdom will flourish, right? So which one you are actually giving the no, you are giving the water. Suppose if you are giving the seed of samsara, if you are giving a lot of importance and lot of, then what will I wanted to earn this, I want to earn this. It's an infinite loop. You will be in the, initially we will feel that I want to live a home, I wanted to buy a home. Then I wanted to have a car, then luxury car. Then after that, oh no, I wanted to buy one more home, which will give me much space. It is not actually the space. You are in the loop of samsara, that you are going beyond it, because you are only watering that kind of thing. Suppose if you go and pour the water to your nirvana, so you can be, as we were taking the middle path, still you can be in the samsara, and you will be in the samsara, and you will be able to get only the needs for a family of 4. How much house you needed, what car you needed. If you are going from one place to another, if your car is not troubling or anything, you feel that okay, you are satisfied, because you will use this world as long as you need to serve. That much only you will leave, and the remaining time you are going to pour water to the some other seeds like enlightenment, some other things you will be spending. If you are too much into the samsara, then you will not have time for any of the things. You will say, meditation, where is the time? Oh, breathing, where is the time? I don't have time. So these things will come because you are totally into this samsara kind of thing. Okay. So which one you are actually transform, which one you are pouring, that is more you have to transmit your negative seeds so that you can go to the positive or the happiness. So unwholesome seeds are in your in the consciousness. There are so many unwholesome seeds are there, because automatically your parents have given something and you bought something as a soul itself. You bought something and your parents has given, like we believe that only until and unless you work hard, then only you will be able to be happy. If you earn more, then only you will be happy. These are all the things which we have got from our parents or ancestors. So to be happy, you need not earn more. To be successful, you need not work hard. If you know that not that always working, you need to work smart, not working hard, right? So how smart, how can, when you know that you have the knowledge, everything within us, you can able to get that knowledge out, then you can work smart. That is how we have to do it. So through practice of mindfulness, right? So you will be able to recognize when you are practicing the mindfulness meditations and mindfulness. So what will happen? You will be able to recognize what seeds are there within you. Why I am actually not able to do it? Why am I getting fear? So you will mindful for each and every task, right? You will be mindful of what you are doing. When you are mindful of what you are doing, when you know that what is actually stopping, then you can work on that and you can remove that thing. When you don't know that, you will believe it. Okay, this has happened like this way, this happened like this way, something like that. So ultimately, when you are going mindfulness, so you will one day you will focus on your enlightenment. So enlightenment is coming from there. Where is that enlightenment is coming? Are we getting it from some? If you go to the temple, or if you go to the guru, or if you go to some other place, are we getting enlightenment? Enlightenment is not coming from outside. Enlightenment is within us. If you remove all these negative seeds, all these things, if you stop watering those negative seeds, the enlightenment is within us. That comes out. That is not coming from the outside. That was given inside, and it is already there within our consciousness. You can bring that out. The seed of enlightenment is already there within our consciousness. Everybody is having it. Is the Buddha's nature. The consciousness. Buddha is here. It's the enlightened master. So the inherent quality, right? Here for every one of us, inherent quality is enlightened mind. So we are possessing, we are keeping so many other things which are not required, and we are actually nurturing those things. If you stop it, then that enlightenment will come. So then you can transform your samsara into the nirvana. Then you can transform your jealous into a kindness or compassion, your angry into the compassion. You can manifest all this. You can suffering to happiness. So all these things you have both in your consciousness, but to whom that you are actually watering. You can avoid suffering by not watering that. You can just water only the qualities of love, compassion, all those things. You can recognize when you are aware, you can recognize what are the positive seeds within them. So when you recognize the positive seeds, you are able to seeds, you can able to grow those positive seeds only in your consciousness. Okay. These are the seeds. So these seeds, our consciousness contains these seeds, right? So these seeds are coming from perceptions also sometimes. So we just perceive the seeds of perceptions, names, words that was given, right? We perceive some of the things we may not, it may not be true. We just perceive the things and we just store that in a mark. So when we saw something somewhere, we don't know what is the story behind it. We just perceive that whatever the way that our mind is showing, whatever that our past knowledge is there, and we put that as a mark. Whenever you see that person or that situation next time, that person, you will remember all these things, because that all the things were stored in your store of consciousness. So next time when you see that person maybe in the beginning, first incident, when you see that person made it something wrong. But when the second time when that person is there, he traveled his life. He must have changed his life. He must have changed all his habits. But when you see that particular person, you have all that storing perception, right? You will see that person as the previous, with the previous impression only. You will not see that you will not be in the present moment. You will not be in that moment and try to perceive the things as it comes. That is where we are all going wrong in the life, right? So maybe because each one of us will change. Now I'm also changed. I may believe something yesterday, but today I may change my opinion, and I may believe something else. As we grow in our lives, we change so many things. We grow, we learn so many things. But if you remember me with something else, and you perceive that as me, and if you are still stuck there, it's your fault. You stuck there, but I moved on. Okay. So similarly, whenever you are perceiving things, just take that moment and try to see that as it is. Then you will not have this perception or the seeds, whatever the signs, right? Lakshana, some say mark, designation. You are designating that particular person as with some bija, right? That you are just putting the image, the seed within your consciousness. So let us not waste that kind of things. You have given that name. Suppose if I say table, right? If I say table, then you will imagine that 4 legs and square or a square rectangle kind of thing. So that is the perception that we have. The table, in the sense, you will remember so many things in your mind, because you already imagined. That is the image that you have had in your mind. Tomorrow, if you see something other shape, then you will not feel it is a table. You wanted to try something different, right? It's a different name or something like that. So because the image of the table you manifested in a different in your mind, in your consciousness, that is the reason why you are saying. So here Buddhism is always talks about 3 signs here. Hope I'm not crossing. Okay. There are the 3 signs of the phenomena. The first pair is everything, whatever that we see, right? The first pair is universal versus particular. First pair of the concept is universal and a particular sign something. Suppose if I see home, you will have some kind of thing. So all the homes, you will have some kind of perception, right? So home will have this kind. Oh, in US the homes will be like that. In downtown the buildings will be like this. In India the homes will be like a concrete. So you will have some kind of generic view. But whenever you see a home, you see that is a generic, universal. So universal and particular. Particular means when you see this is the brick, the front brick was given. The front this was given, the front porch was like this. So you have some particulars were also given. Particulars were also, you are just imagining those things, not imagining, you are also perceiving those things whenever you see a home. So in general, that's a house. and also you are getting so many particulars of that. Suppose even if you go to the generic like grocery store, right? Sometimes you will not even read the name. Suppose you remember that with that whatever the bottle or thing on the top of it, what is the sign that you have it, okay? Particularly you remember those things and you are getting. So here it's in particular thing, right? So corn, let us take, you're getting a corn. There are so many corns, but you have some brand in your mind, okay, that bottle will have this thing and get it. That kind of thing. So that is the universal versus the particular. So you are using your discriminative mind in particular thing, right? You are using your discriminative mind. You are actually catching up so many things. This house has that, so many different parts of it, right? So you are getting it like that. Connecting the second pair of thoughts. What is the second pair? Unity versus diversity. And the second pair is, the first thing is universal, particular. Second pair of the thoughts are unity and the diversity. Our notion of the idea, like whenever I say house is the same thing, right? But diversity. So what is the diversity here? Here, individual house, right? In the individual house, you will have so many things so that you are actually identifying it. We look the phenomena of the dharma. We should be able to see unity in the diversity. The unity is the first sign distinguish the universal house, a particular house, and second sign to distinguish between the other particular houses. So from the other neighborhood, what is so special about this, right? What is so different about it? That is the unity and diversity. And the third one is formation versus disintegration. So these are the types. A house may be the process when the house is in the process of built, right? So you are getting all the wood and all wood things and all. So you are actually, when you are putting that wood and all in the one by one, you are forming a house. Similarly, when you're cutting the wood from the trees, you are disintegrating the wood there. So each thought will have the formation as well as disintegration. Something, the process is getting disintegrated. Even though the wood is new, the house is completely built. So here house is getting formed, whereas the other way the tree is getting disintegrated. So meditation here in this, here what you're saying is meditation will give you the will give you the clear picture. I think this is the one. I'll stop it here. Okay, meditation will give you this training to learn both the aspects of each pair of the signs, not only just unity and unity and what is the particular, what is the diversity, and what is the formation, what is the disintegration. These three pairs it will try to. So when you know that as a holistic, when you know that all the two pairs it's already, then you will be able to train your house. Okay, train your mind to see the things as they are. Suppose if you take a big tree to a carpenter, he will see that how much I can do with this tree, how much wood I can get with this tree. That only it comes to his mind, right? So if you take him to the archaeology, means the person who is actually studying about the trees, his thoughts would be different. How many years it could be, how much it is. So his thoughts would be different. So the same object, you will have the different things and different perceptions will be there. Okay. Here the teaching, right? Similarly, when we are going for the objects in perception. So here, what is the objects? Every one of us will, such as a mountain, river, Buddha, God, Father. So these are all the objects of the perception. Every name is a phenomena. We will say that being a mother, you cannot do that. Being a father, you cannot do it. So we will say something. So what is that? Because mother means this quality should be there. We assumed ourselves. Because we assumed, we put a mark on that mother concept. Then if some mother, whatever the her situations, if she is not able to do it, every person in the society will say, how can she, being a mother, how can she do that? So this is where the problem, because we have put some image, we have put some perceptions onto that, and we are actually trying to judge. This is what actually is happening in everything. So in this, he will say that do not keep all these things. When you'll get enlightened, if you take out all these things in your mind, nothing is that you kept your boundaries, you kept all the seeds in your mind, but those seeds are not and you are watering to the seeds which are not the righteous things, which are not the right ones. So whenever you are not doing that, then you will be into that loop of the suffering. So whenever you water to the right things, then you will come out of that loop and you'll be able to find the happy life. That is so ultimate goal is to find the truth also. So when you are mindful of all these things, you will find truth, and you will realize, when you are mindful of each and every situation, each and everything, you will also realize how different person you are, how happily you can live it. You will not judge anything. He'll give an example in the book that he always thinks, because they have a friends in the neighbor, and that guy is always coming to the home for everything, right? For whatever the help or thing, he's coming and he's helping and he's going. This husband is having a doubt whether his son is his son or that guy's son. This is a always mind, constantly it is running his mind, and he is not able to be happy. So many years he is not able to be happy with that. But suddenly one day somebody came and said, oh, how similar your son is like you. You have so many quality, I mean, so many features are together. Until then he didn't even recognize that he is looking like him. His mind perception or his mind doubt, right? It is not making him to look at his son fully, and then understand that he is also looking like him only. That's how it is. We are, because that's a example that he referred. That's why I took the same example. He looked exactly like his father, but the man did not realize, because his mind perceiving is differently. In that he could not be able to do that. Because of this, because of the wrong perception, he had problems all these years. He suffered because of the wrong perception. We suffered because of his confusion mental stage. He suffered because he had a sign in his mind. He suffered because he misunderstood something, because that the neighbor is helping. He is not able to see him as is. He suffered because of all his perception in his mind. So our mindfulness, always whenever we are seeing the direct perception, direct thing, and always mindfulness is a key to be happy. So we all need to be mindful meditation. This means always live in the present. Mindful meditation is okay. Don't say we are doing anapanasati, it is something different. Nothing like that. When you are doing the meditation, be in that present moment. Be in that present moment and do perceive the things as it is. Do not use your back and whatever the thing that is already stored. If you are already stored, you are actually seeing through your perceptions. So you are storing all the store of consciousness. You are storing so many things. Don't store everything in your store of consciousness. Don't hurt yourself. Don't hurt yourself and don't hurt others, because I storing all the images and all the delusions in the thing. Be like a Buddha here. Be like his teachings, because his teachings are simple. Recognize as the item, or recognize the situation. Be in that present moment. So in that case, you will be hollow. The energy happily flows. You are not even. You don't put all the things in your life, in your thing. So you will not harm anybody. When the energy is flowing, you will feel very happy all the time, and you feel that there is a lot of space, a lot of time within us, because you are not perceiving anything, you are not keeping anything. That is what about second stanza. I'll stop here. I'll give a couple of minutes if there is any questions before we go for meditation. Yeah, you can also tell me if I am too fast or so small, because it's a journey which we have to complete the 50, right? So I don't want to just go in my pace. If anybody have any suggestions, let me know. Silence.
It's very interesting, Prasanna, how the mind works, and
Yeah, it's interesting,
right,
definitely.
right seeds. The more there is saying, right, wherever your focus is, energy goes there.
Energy flows, energy goes there. Yes.
Wherever there is energy, creation happens. So yeah, we need to put on positive, focus on positive things, then positive seeds will grow. Yeah,
that's true.
It's yeah. I'm understanding more and more, because we have some background, but this is like some giving more strength to what we have been exposed, and this is good. This is good. Yeah.
Thank you.
Also, what somebody said, as you think you become. What I forgot his
Yeah,
name.
that is always, it's always a thought power, right? It is always
Yeah.
whatever you
As you
think.
think you become. Yeah. Good. Yeah. Thank you.
Welcome. Any other questions from anyone?
It was really nice, Prasanna, how you were going the flow. It's not at all fast or anything. Thank you for giving us very detailed information. That's what we need because that will help. And the examples you were telling, that were awesome. Thank you. Please continue this flow only.
This flow, okay. No, but usually people complain that I go in a very fast flow. I just wanted to make sure whether you're able to follow it.
That will make us to concentrate. So we should not go anywhere. Just be here, listen.
I think my voice will make you not to go anywhere. I talk a bit loud. People will say, well, you're talking on a Zoom, but as if you are teaching for 50 people. I made that much sound, it seems. But that's okay. That's what.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, if there is no questions,
Yeah, there is no question. So thanks, Prasanna Master, for enlightening us with your topic. So thanks a lot again from one and all. And now we'll switch on to the meditation part. We will do like 20 minutes of meditation. Sit comfortably.